Hello and welcome everybody to the Join.League season number 3. We finally actually got this game started, at least hopefully so. It's going to be Kingdom versus Arrow Gaming in a 2-game series. It's going to be game number 1 at the moment. And Kingdom actually, they looked pretty damn good yesterday, up against First Departure, making it 1-1, actually winning a game against them. So maybe they can do just as well this time around. But we're HeflaTV, I'm Coucher, and I'm joined by Mike Lores today.
Yeah, just casually 25 minutes late. It's no big deal, but Kingdom beating First Departure. I didn't actually know about that result, which is a pretty good one as far as teams to beat are concerned. Arrow definitely no slouches though, and Kingdom, I think they had the work cut out for them. Although I'm not entirely that familiar with the Southeast Asian scene, I'm inclined to think that Kingdom are a little bit of the underdogs here.
Yeah, they are the underdogs 100% at the moment, I think, but I mean, so were they yesterday against First Departure. Me and Blackadder, we were like, yeah, Kingdom, it's going to be such an uphill battle for them, but they took game number 1. I do believe it was like a 62-minute game or something, so it was rather even with lots of ups and downs for both teams, but, well, we will see. Arrow Gaming definitely just the favorites coming into this, but looking at the draft, it is just rather standard so far. Tinker isn't banned as often, I guess, early on, but still a worthy ban.
Yeah, it's just a very difficult hero to play against. You have to play in such a way that you shut him down very early, and if you don't, well, he's going to make your life hell and punish you for the fact that you did not do anything to stop him. Of course, if you do go ahead and, put a whole bunch of heroes in his lane and sit on him constantly, ward his ancients, all that good stuff, then he is definitely not that great of a hero, but having all those pieces come together usually sacrifices something else, and it's just a very hard juggling attempt that you have to do, so Kingdom, they ban out the Tinker and the Death Prophet, whereas Arrow, they take out the Lycan and the Brewmaster. They got Faceless Void, they got Razor, they have Doom. That's good too.
I mean, Doom is always a good hero. Just shut down one hero regardless of the stage of the game. Of course, if you can actually get that ultimate off properly, but I don't know. Will it be just the Faceless Void, Scarf Mage combination, which is so popular, or Razor Viper, Razor Shadow Shaman? I guess it's kind of impossible to call the first two. You can just... There's a certain hero pool that the heroes will be picked from in the first phase, most likely, but which two, it's like, who knows?
Yeah, as far as opening picks, most of it has to do with what the teams like to do, and I mean, you're playing against a Doom. That's all the information you have. It doesn't actually lend itself to any counterplay just yet, so the first 2 picks, maybe even the first 3 picks, is a lot to do with just what you want to play, and well, then at that point, it goes down to what the captain wants to decide for the team, and well, I don't really know what Mosin is thinking right now. So Razor, a nice solid pick, and really you pick up the heroes that you know are going to be good pretty much no matter what. I don't think there's any single time where I have said, Razor, that's a weird pick, this doesn't fit in the lineup. It will never be that way.
Yeah, Razor is pretty nice against Doombringer as well. Once you have your Earth Storm activated, even if you get doomed, you can still actually do a pretty reasonable amount of damage, as well as just outrun Doombringer, especially since he will get purged himself by the unstable Curnet, so he can't even follow up himself potentially. So, I mean, and like you said as well, Razor, just good in any situation. I guess the same can be said for the supports, even both the Skyref Mage as well as the Shadow Shaman. It's like, those supports are never bad pickups pretty much.
Yeah, so it's not only the fact that they're never bad, but they're also very good. Like, there are heroes, you could say, like Marana and Wind Ranger, and heroes like that are never actually bad heroes to have on your team, but sometimes they're just not good heroes to have on your team, whereas Skywrath Mage and Shadow Shaman, they're always going to perform as long as you don't completely screw up with them, and they'll always be able to contribute exactly what they need to in damage or lockdown or pushing, whatever it may be. So, just that's what makes them strong heroes, and that's why we always see them banned out or picked in the very early stages of these games. However, it looks like it's going to be a Nature's Prophet, Arrow. They're going to pick up a hero that is, very commonly seen, but not as commonly seen in the first pick slot.
Yeah, I think it happens a little bit more often in the Southeast Asian scene, but even here it's not all that common. There's like 2 to 3 teams that just run it all the time, and they run it as aggressively as you possibly can, maybe even just safe lane farming or mid lane and just start TPing from lane to lane, setting up kills. So I'm hoping to see that same kind, but I mean, it's a pretty solid offlane hero all in all, just having the 3 ends to either stop the enemy's push or slow it down at least. Or just get yourself some nice XP with the tree and just dragging the creep away, for example.
It's also a hero that lets you play in a multitude of different strategies. If you want to go for pushing, you could go for pushing. If you want to just be super aggressive and fight all the time, then you're probably going to pick up a couple of null talismans, then you're going to be teleporting to the fights as often as you can. It's a hero that does lend itself into a little bit more direction than the Razor, but whichever direction it does lend itself in, it's they kind of go separate ways. Early game team fight, pushing, or you could even just go late game and have Nature's Prophet split push all day long. So, Arrow, they have two solid heroes in lane that rarely ever lose. Nature's Prophet sometimes gets slowed down a little bit, but at the end of the day, he's going to find his farm. There's really nothing you could do about that. And Kingdom, their response, pick up a Skywrath Mage. Now they have the double silence combination. Nature's Prophet is not going to have a fun time teleporting out, but so far no one in Arrow is entirely crippled by these.
Yeah, I mean, Razor and Nature's Prophet definitely don't care all that much, but at the moment, I guess Arrow ban out the Faceless Void now, since otherwise just Faceless Void plus Skywrath Mage combination, it's just such a devastating one, to be honest. Every now and then, Faceless Void actually gets ignored as well, late into the draft or just completely. I mean, it's not like it's the strongest hero, but Kingdom themselves actually ban it out.
It's a hero that you kind of have to play around. When you pick up more, or when you have to draft around, rather. When you pick, the more heroes you pick up that are melee, the worse Faceless Void gets, and maybe Kingdom, well, I mean, Arrow, rather. My god, okay, Arrow. They already have two range heroes, and range heroes work so much better with Faceless Void than any other type of hero, so a little bit too dangerous, I would think. Like, even though it may not be, quote-unquote, the best pick for Arrow to pick up, it's still devastating enough, and the possibilities for the hero are so high that you just don't want to play against them. Viper and Shadow Shaman going to be the follow-up bans. So, looks like both teams not exactly too aware with where the other is going to be going with this draft. They're just banning out overall strong heroes.
Even Shadow Shaman, I guess, could have helped out with the pushing aspect a little bit, plus, of course, solid lockdown all in all. So, a solid ban. Arrow Gaming themselves might ban out something like an Earthshaker, possibly. Earthshaker is pretty nice with Skywrath Mage just roaming around as the two of them. Also, pretty nice against stopping or slowing down pushes. So, Earthshaker, maybe even a Wraith King, I guess, but what other supports could Kingdom go for, or cores for that matter? Well, Centaur taken out, and Arrow, do they really believe that Kingdom is actually gonna run the Doom safe lane then?
Clearly that must be the case. Centaur is a good hero versus Nature's Prophet. Like, once your Nature's Prophet is blinked upon, he's pretty much screwed. But it looks like Arrow are going to go for a Shadow Demon. I'm expecting kind of a Mirana / Kunkka follow-up here, but that kind of lends itself to a very aggressive playstyle. So I think Arrow, they're probably going to want to use this Nature's Prophet to fight very early and very often with Shadow Demon and whatever other support they choose to pick up, being mostly roaming around the map very heavily. And if the Doom is running a safe lane, then I think Arrow are going to be completely okay with that, because Doom is a hero that, although he will get his farm, is someone that if you sit on is going to really struggle, and he's not exactly the most viable of heroes as long as you have enough damage. So they just have to make sure that they have enough damage, and then they can make all the rotations they could possibly want.
Do you think we might have a DDC Invoker incoming for Arrow at the moment? Go like
it makes the
Invoker
lanes a
mid,
little awkward.
Razor, Shadow Demon, +1, maybe aggressive Trident even, Nature Prophet safe lane.
Well, I mean, with Kingdom banning out picking up the Mirana and essentially banning out from Arrow, the Invoker does get a little bit better here. So, yeah, I mean, you could get Nature's Prophet as well as Invoker to land some spells from all the way across the map. It's definitely not a terrible way to go.
Oh, well, we will see. I mean, Shadow Demon, you definitely want to pair it up with something that can actually make good use of the disruption. Maybe a Leshrac isn't too bad of a hero, I guess. I would still love to see more Lina, to be honest, because that hero is almost never picked up, but that's a distant dream of mine at the moment, it looks like. So we'll see now if Arrow want to pick up their last core or just go for the secondary support here.
Lina will eventually get her heyday. Mark my words. It'll be one of those. It'll be the Shadow Shaman or Skywrath Mage soon enough, but not today, unfortunately. As it's going to be Enigma for Arrow as they pick up another hero that is very much so based in the unit pushing, which is a little bit more rarely seen than the Death Prophets and the Jakiros and the Shadow Shamans who push off of just their skills alone. This is a push style that is counterable by Kingdom. However, they don't really have much AoE yet. They need to pick up someone who's able to clear off these Eidolons and Treants, else they just lose a whole bunch of towers.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment though, they've actually locked themselves in a little bit already with the draft. Yes, they have 2 picks still left, but they also need to synergize with the rest of their team. So, I mean, unit-based pushing, like you said, usually a little bit easier to counter than just the Chakiro, Shadow Shaman, and Death Prophet, but it's still hard, of course, depending on how fast Arrow Gaming can get their push going as well. But Kingdom, what options would they have to just get some counter push?
Well, they have the Mirana who, at the very least, can be played as support or core, which is nice so that they do have a couple of options. Batrider, not exactly the hero that you want. You have to set up Firefly very much so beforehand, and sometimes that just isn't really available. I'm inclined to think this Mirana is going to be played as a support Mirana right now, in which case Kingdom need another core to pick up with a little bit of AoE. I really don't know. Maybe they just need anything, so I don't know. A Dragon Knight would be something to let them start clearing out waves, or a Wind Ranger, or I don't know. It's anyone with an AoE skill. They don't have enough.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about the Dragon Knight as well, potential for Kingdom, just getting some push of their own as well there. But we will see. I mean, Batrider is decent enough to just pick the fights when they come for the pushes, just get somebody out of position completely. Also pretty nice against Nature's Prophet Ratting, just come in with the Firefly Blink and get even potentially solo kills on him. But Pagnar was the bandwagon Kingdom, the last one. A little bit afraid of even more pushing to come out from Arrow. But what will their fifth one be here? I mean, I guess there's a small potential that Enigma will actually be on a solo lane somewhere. Although that would be kind of a waste of just resources. So, is it just Shadow Demon solo supporting here?
It seems like it might be, and that's kind of rarely seen. And with the Lone Druid pickup, this Shadow Demon suddenly doesn't seem like a good pickup anymore. He doesn't set up for anything, actually. Like, there isn't a single thing that he sets up for. I guess he's good against the Batrider, but Kingdom kind of made that choice to themselves. Lone Druid puts Arrow more into the pushing camp than anything else, where Shadow Demon doesn't really do anything to help out. So I would like to see the Shadow Demon be a Vengeful Spirit, or anyone else that would be useful in a push, just to add something else besides piddly amounts of damage and a pseudo stun. So Arrow, I like where their draft went, with the exception of the Shadow Demon and Kingdom. Their last pick is going to be an Ember Spirit. It's a hero that can clear the creeps, although it will take a lot of time to get going. Arrow, they have a nice window in this game where they are just going to be so much stronger than Kingdom with their units that Kingdom are going to struggle to defend their towers.
Yeah, and Skyrift Mage and Mirana really aren't the strongest roaming duo either. I mean, Concussive Shot is hardly enough setup for the Arrow to land, I think. So, I mean, how effective can the supports be? Because I feel like they definitely need to try to slow down or shut down the Enigma in the jungle, just to make sure that the push actually doesn't come online that soon for Arrow.
And that's always a tall order. I mean, Enigma usually has a safe time, and Mirana Scarlet Mage definitely have the potential to kill things very easily if they land an arrow, but that's a fairly large if. Kingdom, they have one potential setup, maybe two with the Batrider Lasso. It's going to be difficult for Kingdom. They have to play this super defensively and super slow against Arrow's more aggressive, more fast, very heavy pushing comp, and that's a lot of things that you have to get right, and a lot of things that Arrow have to get wrong in order for Kingdom to win this game. If Arrow stall out, if they have a really, really bad laning phase, which I don't see them having, then Kingdom are going to have a much better time. But again, it's going to be very difficult for Arrow to mess up within the first 10 minutes of the game, or 15 minutes in the game.
Yeah, I think the pressure is definitely on Kingdom at the moment to just be able to stop Arrow. Whether it be in just the early rotations already, getting the laning phase under control for themselves, or just being ready to fight when the push actually does arrive from Arrow. So we'll see. Finally, everybody has picked up their heroes, and to go over the lineups as well, for Kingdom, Fixers will be playing the Ember Spirit with Yomo Kompaku on the Doombringer, Star to play the Batrider with Smashy on the Mirana, and the last one will be Fruits on that nature, or the Skyrift Mage.
On the Arrow side, we got DDZ playing the Lone Druid. Lance is going to be handling the Razor with Shangtai on the Enigma. Mosin is going to be probably jungling as the Enigma, and that leaves MTR as the odd one out, the support, Shadow Demon, who's probably just going to be on defensive duty. I mean, probably he's not even going to look for offensive disruptions unless the opportunity is really, really out there, which I don't expect to happen. He's most likely just going to try to keep the Lone Druid alive so that he's going to get his faster Radiance, although the lanes are looking a little bit switched up right now. We'll see how these lanes actually settle, as we do see Kingdom moving into the enemy jungle as a 5-man smoke. their level 1 isn't the best. I mean, they have Searing Chains, which actually do some pretty good damage, as well as the arrow. If they get those to land, this could be a kill, and it looks like it may just happen.
Yeah, they have boots on 2 heroes as well. They will get the slow onto MTR, but is he gonna be fast enough? Sticky Napalm as well. Additional slow, the arrow lands, and well, this gonna be first blood.
That's pretty much as good of a start that Kingdom could possibly want. We were saying that they needed a great start in order to begin, and they don't really have heroes that can fight in the early game. Like the Doombringer is not that great until he gets his level 6, and even then he is pretty much a one-shot deal. Batrider is okay, Ember Spirit is okay as well, but getting a first blood like that, even though it is just on a support, is going to help them out so much. It's going to give them a lot of momentum. Who actually got that kill is Batrider, so he's going to have boots plus the extra gold. It could be a fast bottle. It could just be more money going towards Blink Dagger. And the sooner he gets
Dota
that,
is crashed, and I have to restart Steam because Dota doesn't even want to start itself anymore. Fun times.
All right, well, I'll keep going then, and you let me know when everything is fine, because it looks like Arrow, they're actually going to lane the Lone Druids on the mid lane. Enigma can help out a little bit with the denial. No, he's not. I have no idea what Mosin is doing in the mid lane if he's not going to deny a creep, but that's fine. It is going to be a Lone Druid versus Ember Spirit, and that's actually a pretty good matchup for Lone Druid, who rarely ever straight up loses a lane. But as long as he doesn't get hit with an arrow, he'll be just fine versus Fixers. There's not much an Ember Spirit could actually do in this lane. He'll be under so much physical damage that a Stout Shield just isn't really going to cut it. And on the bottom lane, Lance with three stacks of Napalm stole a little bit of damage from Star, but now 4 stacks. He's taking so much damage from Fruits with the concussive shot. They need more stacks. They need more damage. Unfortunately, Star, he's only level 1, so he can't actually kill Lance. If he had level 2, any point in anything besides just 1 point in Sticky Napalm would have gotten this kill on Lance, but Lance is actually struggling quite a bit in this lane. MTR will be here eventually to help out the Razor in case things get really bad, but still, just so much damage, and Star is pretty much holding this lane by himself. Doesn't have the most CS, but that's fine as long as you prevent Razor from getting CS. And up on top, Doombringer is getting a little bit of support from Smashy, so in the end it will be dual lanes for Kingdom. And there wasn't really an incredible way of laning this, so it's kind of understandable that they would run like this. Scarif Mage and Mirana don't really work that well together, but I think I would rather like to see them go together and try to get some kills somewhere, just to put Arrow a little bit further back.
Okay, it's good now. All good. Didn't miss any kills, thank God for that. Dota just randomly decided to crash on me. So, hopefully it's going to be fine from now on. And, well, the lanes so far, Xiangsa at least getting some pretty nice XP in the offlane. And actually, Enigma aggressive jungle. He's level 2. And of course, man, his own jungle completely warded off, so not much he could do there. How safe do you feel Mosin is going to feel in the enemy jungle?
I mean, he knows that there's two heroes on the bottom lane, so he knows that there can only possibly be a Mirana here. And if Mirana runs into him right now, the Eidolons, even though they are only level 1, they'll just mess up Mirana's day so badly. So Enigma should be completely fine here. Like, even Fixers, if he does rotate in, can't really do too much, although Fixers is going to kill off the bear. I don't think he got any gold from that one. Must have been a creep to get it or something like that. I don't really know what happened, but either way, like, Mosin's going to run into Mirana right now, and he's just going to feel more than comfortable to just turn around and start hitting her, because Mirana with 47 base damage is not going to win this fight against Eidolons.
Yeah, it's definitely hard. Although, anyway, still level 2 only, actually. Has to use the Malphite as well, completely out of mana. Fixers is coming in. Can he actually get close enough smash? He has the arrow, it's gonna land as well. I think Fixers, with the follow-up Searing Chains, probably gonna get the kill. Flame Guard coming off cooldown, and we'll make it 2-0 for Kingdom.
That was the second time an arrow player just ran straight after knowing that an arrow was going to come. There was no reason to go up that ramp. It's a death trap when you're up against a Mirana. Going up or down that ramp that he tried to go is never ever what you want to do, because the arrow is all but guaranteed to land. And now Xiangsa, he's going to dodge an arrow. But so far this Mirana has been a lot more impactful than I thought. With no setup, it is very difficult to play the hero, but she's been landing her arrows, being in the right place at the right time. And arrow, they actually haven't been dodging that much, so this Mirana is doing pretty okay so far.
Yeah, and actually in the meantime, bottom lane Lance got the kill onto Star as well. Just a few right clicks plus the maxed out plasma field. But the slow comes out now. 1 stack of Sticky Napalm MTR. The disruption on Batrider should be enough, so Lance, he's just gonna be fine.
Yeah, that's going to be, again, MCR playing that super defensive Shadow Demon role. Just trying to keep Lance alive, and when your Razor needs this much help to stay alive, you know you're in a shitty situation as Lance now getting Fireflied up, although Star taking a lot more damage. He is going to get the kill, and he might survive. One more right click won't do it. He's going to Flame Break, and he's going to survive at single digits of HP. However, here comes Mosin from the side. One more right click will kill the Batrider, and then he's going to go for Fruits. This should be an easy cleanup for Arrow, as they do punish the fact that they lost the Razor. But Razor for 2 heroes is, I think, okay for them. Arrow, they want to be ahead in this game, and Kingdom, any kills that they get, they're going to be okay with. But losing 2 is a little bit too much, I think.
Yeah, especially since it's just got so much XP all of a sudden to Mozon, who otherwise was struggling a little bit in the jungle, but he's now almost level 5. Does he have his Soul Ring flying out? Yes, he does, so they can actually start with the push. I mean, Mozon is gonna hit level 5, level 3 Demonic Conversion, so maybe, just maybe, they can actually apply some pretty nice pressure on the tower.
Yeah, they have that level 3, and take a look at Shangzai. He is level 3 as well in his summon. The bear, not quite at the point where they would really feel comfortable with pushing, but really the bear is going to be a little bit of a delayed pusher. It's going to be the Eidolons and the Treants that do it fairly early game. And DDZ, he's doing just fine versus Fixers, although Fixer's doing a lot better than I actually thought. Now that the bear that has his Entangle, it's going to be a lot harder for the Ember Spirit. If he gets caught, he's going to be pretty much forced to use something to get out of it. And every single time he gets caught, it's more mana that McFixers is not going to have for offensive purposes. Arrow, they're going to sit back for a little bit longer. Razor's not going to go for mech. It looks like Enigma is going to be going for the mech. I don't know about this. I think I'd rather like see a Razor pick up the mech, because I think he should just have it faster than the Enigma in this game.
Yeah, it might very well be possible. Maybe they're just like trying to maximize out their pushing potential as early as possible. Just get the mech on Enigma and go maybe straight out Aghanim Scepter on Razor, for example. Maybe that's the reasoning behind it. Maybe on Razor to pick up Drums for their team, for example. I mean, I guess it's a trade-off you must be doing in a game. It's like somebody needs to build the mech anyway. And Enigma, what would he go for otherwise? Does he just go for straight-out Blink then without the mech, or?
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Blink is pretty good against Batrider, but aside from that, Mech Enigma, I'm not saying that Mech Enigma is really a bad thing or a good thing or anything like that. It's a perfectly serviceable item, but I just feel like Razor would get it faster, and with what Arrow are playing right now, they want to be able to push as soon as they can. Waiting for the Enigma to get it, although is good, is probably not as desirable, I would say, if they want to play in the super short term. Though they do have options for the long game, so I guess what I'm saying doesn't actually hold that much water.
Well, depending on how much farm Lance gets as well, since he actually hasn't had free farm.
Top, an arrow landed. And then beatdown. Very easy kills, Smashy with another arrow.
Oh man, he's somehow landing them, I got no clue how. Maybe did Yomo actually, whoa, mid lane? A kill at the same time. DDC actually almost fell himself to the Ember Spirit, but MTR was there to help out get the kill, so in the end still favoring Arrow, but was the ensnare used by Doombringer there? I mean, it must have been, right? Just how can
I have
you
no idea.
land arrows, man?
It's in the side shot though, so that angle is pretty nice.
Well, that's just extremely nicely done by Smash. I mean, landing way more arrows than we would have expected for him to. Bottom lane, 3 heroes are gathered, static link, immediately breaken by Star, broken, but will the push be stopped by the Firefly here?
Looks like they just don't have any regular creep support. Like, they made all their summons and all their dudes, but they don't have any real creeps to tank any hits or do any damage to the tower. And Star, though he only has 2 points in the Firefly, it's going to be more than enough as long as he pulls the aggro. Arrow going to fly, and Mosin going to tank that one with his face. The Sprout is going to wall them off a little bit, and Smash is actually now dropping pretty low. He will jump out of there at 30 HP, and Lance now caught in the front. He might be lassoed back. No, there's no mana on Star. Looks like Lance will be fine. This game is just so weird. Lance going to get caught with the chains, though. And looks like this will be the death of the Razor. Mosin coming around from the side. Silence so he can't black hole, though. Still looking for it. I don't think he's going to find it. And if he does, he will just burn before he actually does anything with the Fixer's going to get a double kill. Off to the side, Star is going to land onto the floor. And it looks like the right clicks are going to be just enough to kill him off. Kingdom, they are probably going to lose this tower off of this one. Smashy's still in the area. Can't really do much. Doombringer hasn't really left the lane or even thought about it. So yeah, it's going to be Arrow taking a couple kills here and there. Most importantly, taking a tower. Ooh, most importantly, taking 2 towers. DDZ takes his as well. Pretty nice wins for Arrow.
Yeah, it actually could have gone even a little bit better. Oh, top lane, they're going for Yomo compact with Doombringer. Just TP's out though. He's going to be fine, but the fact that Mosin, when he was running away from Fixers, he actually hesitated a little bit. He was like, I can't really go for Black Hole because I'll just die to the Flame Guard most likely, but if he had turned around straight away and used the Malphite, I think the right clicks of Nature's Prophet would have been enough to get the counter kill at the very least on Ember. But even without that the kill on Ember, it's still a pretty worthy trade for them. It's just so much map control, and they are not done yet with the pushing. They want a tier 1 top as well.
And they're probably going to get it. Kingdom, they don't really have AoE to comfortably clear these out. Their only chance is to really pull the aggro and then slow them down. But this tower is very, very dead now, and that's going to be a tower kill going the way of Razor. Mosin, though, is in a little bit of trouble. Fixer's is going to jump right on him with the Searing Chains. Kompaku is right behind him as well. The Doom is available, and Lance is going to try to ward them away from the Enigma. He will be successful in doing so, but for how long? Mirana's in the area, and Smashy's been pretty on point with these arrows. There's not really good angles here. Looks like Kingdom, they're going to bring a lot of heroes up to the top lane to do pretty much nothing. They can't even kill off this Enigma, even though they completely caught him off guard.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate, Kingdom. They just don't have the jump yet. I mean, if they land an arrow, it's all well and good, but if they don't have the blink yet on Batrider. They're about 900 gold away still. So, there's no reliable follow-up for them at the moment, at least. And actually, looks like Lance will go for the drums after all, and Mosin, he's actually only 100 gold away from the mech, so it's not going to be delayed at all, almost.
Yeah, getting those 3 towers in succession certainly does help you go for the mech, and didn't expect those 3 towers to drop, but hell, anyone could have gotten a mech at this point for Arrow, so it's a nice little pickup there, and Razor with the drums is going to be that much harder for Kingdom to catch up to. They do have a lot of lockdown in the Arrow and the Lasso, but if they don't go the way of Lance, then he's going to be dancing around the fights pretty much without a care in the world. And also Arrow, they've been pretty much playing without Lone Druid for the most part. He's sitting at 2,600 gold, and he looks like it's just going to be a straight relic from here on out, whereas Kingdom, they've gone for a mech on their Doom. They're prepared to fight through this early game, whereas Arrow, though they are taking the towers, they're gearing up for a little bit more late, and if it does get to that late game scenario, what this Ember Spirit with a Bracer is not going to cut it. He needs something more. Everyone on Kingdom needs something more in order to fight up against this Druid.
Yeah, but fighting is going to be so hard. Just look at the gold graph, for example. It's almost a 7,500 gold lead for Arrow already. Yes, they do have a free tower advantage, but even then, man, it's only 3 towers. Of course, Enigma coming into play there, farming up the jungle a little bit. Just, I mean, kill-wise it's even, so it's not like anybody's having some huge gold lead from that itself. XP, almost 3,000 as well, so Arrow are looking extremely damn good. But at the very least, Star has picked up the Blink Dagger on Batrider. So this will have to just work out for them with the rotation. Skyriff Mage is also level 6, so Lasso into Mystic Flare. They should be able to kill off that one target for sure, but will killing off one target be enough in a fight at the moment?
There's a lot of it's going to depend on the Shadow Demon, actually. The defensive hero that we were talking about before is going to be Arrow's best counter for the Batrider, though they are going to be surprised by this Blink Dagger. I don't know how much it's actually going to work out. MTR is very far ahead, and he does have a haste rune, so whoever does get lassoed, they should have a good amount of time to disrupt either the Bat or whoever is going to get hit with that lasso. And then without a Force Staff, the Batrider can't actually do anything after that. Like, he'll just jump in and get put into a bubble. They're going to go for mid lane, though. DDZ dropping very low, 40 HP. He's going to put into the bubble. I think that might spell his doom, though. Fruits is going to go down. Kompaku does seal the deal on the doom. Shangzai still right-clicking for all he's worth, and now Kompaku going to try to teleport out. He will stick the landing there, but they're going to go on bottom lane now. Mosin doesn't have enough mana for a black hole, actually. Could have gotten easily 2 of them. He's going to get burned down by Fixers, and now Lance going to try to fight 1v2. He's stealing a lot of damage from Star, but he has to steal damage from Fixers. It's another double kill for him. And Arrow, they just got a couple of heroes picked off, and, well, Razor, losing him is pretty bad. Losing the Lone Druid is even worse. Kingdom, they pretty much defend their towers by going aggressive on the right heroes.
Yeah, really nicely done. I mean, for DDC, they did use the Mystic Flare as well. And actually, Skyriff Mage dropped down in return, just Spirit Bear being able to get that one entangle off thanks to the defensive disruption before the Lone Druid actually died. So they did get that one counter kill, but still, awesome trade for Kingdom, and they need to keep up. And suddenly, actually, Fixers, he's not looking all that bad in net worth. He's actually number 2. Well, him and Nature Prophet pretty much neck and neck. But Ember Spirit, he's gonna be the key figure for Kingdom, I feel like. Just if he gets that faster, or rather fast Battle Fury, he can actually keep up with farm and potentially have enough to actually counter push with that Sleight of Fist, but he needs to just keep on going. He cannot really afford to die.
Shangzai almost got hit with an arrow up on top. I don't know if it was short on distance or if it was just a couple of pixels off the mark, but the arrow looked like it clipped with the model, and I thought it was going to actually land, but he got out safely, so lucky for him, he's going to live to fight another day. But yeah, Arrow, they are kind of stalled out in Kingdom. If they do pick up this fast Battle Fury and the Ember Spirit, then I don't think Arrow could actually push with these units anymore. At least not as 5. They can't group up and do the whole, we're just going to Doom push your towers thing. Because one Sleight of Fist, which is being prioritized now by Fixers, with the Battle Fury is going to kill pretty much all of those creeps. And once you have that, it's just going to be feeding more and more money into the Ember Spirit. And that's something that Arrow would probably like to avoid. They're grouped up for mid right now, and, well, Star is actually looking for the bottom lane Lone Druid. DDZ is very safely hidden in the trees, although not for long. He's spotted out by Star, and he's going to be lassoed, probably. The bear is on the wrong side. DDZ is going to get lassoed, going to get pulled deep into the trees where the Arrow is going to be waiting for him. Arrow's going to whiff, actually, and DDZ is going to walk right into the Mystic Flare, still alive, but not for long. He's going to be brought down. He was pretty much at his relic, but he just couldn't buy it. Star now going to start fighting out with Xiang Zai, who's going to pop the Blade Mail, but Batrider is more than okay with just not attacking in that situation. They're going to doom up Razor in the back lines, though. MTR is there to support, but I don't know if he's in the right position, though. He's right in the front. Mozen's going to get double jumped on. Has a Black Hole. Once again, he just still can't use it because of the Flame Guard. MTR going to get killed by Fixers. That's the 3rd double kill of this game. Now Xiang Zai is going to get stunned up by something. He's going to try to teleport out. He's going to live because the Doom misclicked on his ensnare and didn't interrupt that TP, but still it's a 3 kill for Kingdom, and they're slowing down Arrow so much, especially this Lone Druid. He was so close to his Radiance. I think he might have even had enough gold for the Relic, but just didn't have the courier in the right spot, and he couldn't buy it.
Yeah, he was 50 gold short actually. His Lance, he's gonna get slowed down as well. Are you kidding me? If he goes down now, it's gonna be a huge disaster. They will get ensnared from long range. Do they have the Mystic Flare actually fruits? It's still on cooldown, but I think they have enough anyway, or do they? No? They do actually back off. Xiang Zai was TPing as well. The Sprout on the fruits is gonna get the counter kill. One more right click. Maybe actually he needs one more free HP. Are you kidding me? They're actually staying alive at the moment. They do spot out the Observer Ward with that sentry now as well. Wow. It's just, I'm speechless.
That's so unlucky with the high-low rolls of Nature's Prophet. If he was a little bit luckier in his attack damage range, then he could have very easily gotten that kill, but sometimes Dota just hates you. Arrow, they're not phased by the fact that they keep on losing heroes down in this bottom lane. They're just going to keep going for it. But really, every time they do, they're just giving Ember Spirit more and more kills. That's, again, the 3rd double kill that we've seen coming out from this Ember. And the fact that Ember, as long as he's going for the Enigma, and Enigma starts out at relatively low amounts of HP, he can't turn around for a Black Hole. If he does, he might disable someone for a second or two, which is sometimes nice, but he'll just be burned down by the Flame Guard. And Arrow, they can't burst through the Flame Guard quickly enough. And now Mozen, he's going to get lassoed. Uh-oh, that's not where you want to be, Mozen. He's going to get hit with an arrow because he can't dodge it. Literally, he has nowhere to go, and now Batrider is going to get a free kill on the Enigma after denying that double damage rune.
Yeah, I mean, Arrow, they've been playing a little bit sloppy there every now and then at the moment. They've gone just a little bit too aggressive or had TDC, split pushing, and just getting caught off, and then the rest of Arrow just trying to go for a backstab, for example, which completely backfired for themselves. So, looking at the graphs now again, they are still in the lead by about 5,000 gold. XP though, 2,000 in Kingdom's favor, and I guess with all the kills just gone Kingdom's way, it's only to be expected.
Now they're going to smoke up for top lane. There is no lasso for another 30 seconds, but they do have a double damage on Star and a lot of bursts coming out from Fruits, though not into the Blade Mail. That's not what you want to do. Xiang Zai with the Blade Mail is going to do a lot of damage to Star, but a lot of damage doesn't actually mean anything because he will go down in the end. So, yeah, Blade Mail, Nature's Prophet, doing okay work, but nothing really to write home about. Again, every single time Kingdom get a kill on Arrow, it slows down the potential push. And Lone Druid, though he does have the Relic now, is going to be eventually facing up against a very strong Ember Spirit. He's only a Perseverance away from his Battle Fury. He's getting to that really Ember Spirit critical mass where he's going to pick up the Battle Fury, then very quickly the crit is going to follow, and then suddenly Arrow, they're just going to get chopped to pieces.
I mean, I want to say that they have like a couple more 3-4 minutes at least to just maybe start getting some tier 2s, gaining or regaining some map control for themselves as well. So if they get the Radiance, I guess Arrow, they will go just full on aggressive once again, because it's not like they have any other big items to really wait for, since their farm has been slowed down so damn much with just them dying.
Yeah, if they try to rat this one out, then Batrider is going to have a field day. Mirana's Moonlight Shadow is going to get a lot better. But Kingdom, they're completely prepared for this Radiance, I think. Not on the fact that they have any huge survivability items. In fact, they don't even have a mech. They do have a mech on the Doom, never mind. So they're prepared in that regard, but they could just ignore the bear and kill off everyone else so quickly. Like, the Doom with his Blink Dagger, freshly picked up, is going to completely 100% shut down any possibilities for a black hole or something like that. And the Skywrath Mage will pretty much always 100-0 someone as long as he combos up with the Batrider. And then Ember Spirit, he's so very close to his Battle Fury that Arrow, even if they do have a Radiance, as good as an item as it is, I don't know if it's going to be enough just because everyone else is not in the best place right now. It's okay for them, but Kingdom, for the most part, they're secure in this game. They are pretty stable, and as the game continues on, they will become more so.
You mean, I guess with the Spirit Bear Radiance, they can potentially split push 2 lanes at the same time, but like you already mentioned as well, if Arrow go for the split pushing game, Batrider is just gonna punish it so damn hard, probably. But they've smoked up, oh, Arrow, it actually landed into Mozen randomly, so Kingdom, they should be aware of something being there. Blink out by Yomo as well, and Arrow, oh man, this Roshan, it's gonna be such a huge risk for them. If it pays off, yeah, sure, fine, but if it doesn't, if they get caught, it's gonna be just a huge disaster.
They're trying to Roshan against a Batrider. That's never a good idea. Now Lance, he's gonna get lasted up. He's gonna get put into a bubble, and Star's actually gonna get entangled. Pretty bad start for him. Mozen, though, looking for a black hole opportunity. He's not gonna find it. He gets it for less than a second as Lance, now Juned up, is gonna be the next one to fall. Fixer's still running rampant, still has the flame guard up. He's gonna take off 3, actually. It's a triple kill for him. The Doom is gonna get brought down by the Bear, who's actually doing quite a lot of work as well. No one focusing the Bear. And Kingdom, well, they don't take the best fight in the world. A lot of that has to do with the fact that the Shadow Demon was there to save his buddy from that lasso. If he was pulled up to the high ground, then Razor would have just been ignored. Fixers does collect once again, but this time DDZ showing the power of the Radiance, and Kingdom, they take a less than stellar fight.
Yeah, getting the Entangling Claws there as well was pretty damn huge on the Batrider, to be honest. So, like I said, Spirit Bear doing work in that fight, and only with a Radiance as well. So extremely well fought. Mirana maybe could have gone a little bit more aggressive as well. I mean, his support after all, his death doesn't really mean all that much. But oh, they're gonna get the Spirit Bear. Arrowed up as well. Fixers gets himself 300 gold.
That's a pretty sweet chunk of change for him. It's gonna give him a lot of gold towards his crit. And Ember Spirit, really the last fight he did all the damage, but he just needed to survive for a little bit longer. The crit is not exactly going to help in that regard, but Ember Spirits rarely go for survivability items. Aside from BKBs, and even if he does get a BKB, Entangle is going to be the chief concern, and Black Hole. So Fixer's most likely going to be playing the pure glass cannon route, and that's a dangerous way to go as any hero, really. Fortunately for him, Arrow don't really have many great tools of just jumping in on him. So Fixer's, if he plays this safe, as far as his positioning is concerned, he should be more or less fine.
Yeah, well, he did actually Remnant himself into the black hole in the last fight. Of course, the Remnants, together with the Flame Guard burn, were enough to kill Mozen immediately once he came in with the triple Remnant, I think it was even. But, yeah, it's really only the black hole that he has to be that worried about, and the Entangling Claws, like you mentioned. So other than that, I think just the glass cannon build is completely fine for him in this game. But Kingdom, they have it LSO. Unfortunately, actually, the Firefly will be on cooldown now, so they can't really go on the aggressive all that much, but Arrow, they've grouped up as 5. Even without the black hole, they just want to keep on going. I mean, I feel like they themselves put too much pressure on their team to just go and push early on. It's not like their late game is bad by any means, so maybe they shouldn't have tried to force it all that much.
So Fixers is going to look to go in. He chains up Lance for a little bit, and then there's the Doom onto the Razor. Not really sure if that's the best target, as Kambaku dropping very low very quickly due to this Bear. I don't think he's going to escape. Fixers off to the right side is going to shackle up a couple people, dropping the Mystic Flare onto MTR. He's going to jump now back for Xiangsai. In the meantime, DDZ, he's just being played with in the back end. Fixers is going to clean up, going to get himself a beyond godlike streak. Plasma Field is going to kill off the Skywrath Mages. Doom barely blinks out of there. Smashy not going to be as lucky. The Radiance Bear right on the Mirana's tail. And then Xiangsai is going to teleport forward to secure that kill. DDZ is not the hero you want to focus with your Kingdom. Lasso, as good as a skill as it is, it's completely wasted when you cast it on the Lone Druid. And Kingdom, they get really too far split off in that fight. And DDZ, he's capable of doing the damage as well as tanking up. Ember Spirit, he's capable of doing damage, not as much for tanking hits. So Kingdom, they have to make sure to not get separated like that. That was pretty much the worst possible scenario for them. Also, giving the Razor, I don't know about that.
You mean, he didn't get the Earth Storm off at least this time around. In the Ocean fight he had the Earth Storm activated before getting doomed. But yeah, it's definitely a weird one. Oh, Star, Lance dealing a lot of damage, but they back off for the timing. Or Lance, is he actually safe still? 2 stacks of Ticking Napalm, Searing Chains as well. Let's go for the TP out. No, Flame Break stops it, and he's gonna go down. So just overstaying is welcome there a little bit. Maybe should have gone for the TP out earlier, just not messed around with the Ancients. But Arrow, they did take a pretty nice fight there, and just DDZ, he's so damn tanky. Kingdom, they are still lacking a little bit of damage, and the Mystic Flare once again was actually mostly disrupted by defensive disruption, so as long as MTR can keep up, it's going to be fine for Arrow, I think, in the fight.
And the bear right back under the front lines. Killing the bear is something that Kingdom definitely can do. I would say even investing a lasso is totally worth it if you're going to kill off the spirit bear. However, here comes the rest of the units. Fixer's going to chain them out, and it looks like Kingdom, they will make a successful defense, but yeah, killing the lone druid, killing the bear is at this point so damn difficult. The bear even has a plate mail now, so Kingdom, they are going to struggle a little bit versus this bear, but as long as they keep themselves together and as long as they don't take an extremely scattered fight, then they should be a little bit better in this game than last fight was really indicating. I mean, the kill score 14 to 19, you would feel like Kingdom is ahead, although technically Arrow ahead still in the gold. I just feel like Kingdom have a little bit more momentum right now, despite the fact that Arrow did take that last fight. Once the BKB comes up on Razor, though, it might be a little bit of a different story. If Lance is consistently focused and he has a BKB to pop off once he is available to, then the fights are going to go so much better for Arrow, like astoundingly so.
Yeah, and we've yet to see actually a proper black hole as well. I mean, I think we've seen like only one black hole, and even that was almost immediately cancelled since Mosen just died. So there's always the threat or potential of that as well. Kingdom, they do have pretty nice ways to deal with it though. I mean, every single hero of theirs can potentially stop the black hole. So it's definitely not the easiest of game for Mosen to just land a huge one.
And I think it's probably going to be a secondary objective for him, though he has gone for a kind of curious skill build. I didn't actually take notice of this before. Malphus is only level 1. Level 1 Malphus isn't exactly an amazing skill, and Midnight Pulse, though, it does do a lot more damage as you level it up. The difference between a level 1 and level 2 Midnight Pulse early on in the game is usually very difficult to see, if you could see it at all. So, I don't know, he's gone for this very AoE-focused build, I suppose, and this build does focus a little bit more on the black hole. Like, you're counting on landing a Midnight Pulse black hole combination, because if you can't, then your Malphus isn't going to be doing anything. But if you can't land that black hole, then suddenly the Midnight Pulse gets a lot worse.
Yeah, it's definitely weird. I think it's the first one I've seen such a build as well. Malphite is actually, the stun duration increases reasonably well. Between the 3 instances, it actually increases 0.75 seconds each skill up. So it's one of the better scaling stuns in a sense, I guess. And I have no clue why I would go Midnight Pulse maxed out first. It's, I mean, 1% each increase. It's not like it's all that huge, and they don't have the necessary lockdown without the black hole, like you said as well. And if you're hoping to land both a Midnight Pulse and the black hole on top of that later on, you are daydreaming, to be honest.
Yeah, against 5 Kingdom heroes who, as you said, can all interrupt your black hole. They're going to spot out Xiangzai, and this time he has no Blade Mail. He's going to get Mystic Flared right in the face. That's a really dead Nature's Prophet. A nice little pick off for Kingdom as their other 2 heroes getting the farm that they really desperately need. Oh no, they doomed the Lone Druid illusion. Kambaku, we're going to pretend that we didn't see that. He used his Doom on a hero and they teleported out. That's exactly what happened. Lone Druid getting the right rune at the right time is going to be a pretty nice catch for Arrow, even though they did lose their Nature's Prophet. But Doom is going to be back up soon enough, and I don't think Arrow could punish the fact that Doom wasted his ultimate there.
Yeah, it's still a little bit unfortunate. I mean, Immortal victory, at the very least for Arrow Gaming at the moment. Just, it's always nice if you can bait out any ultimates to be honest with an illusion. And Kingdom, it's not like they're getting any objectives now, killing off Xiangzai either. And AC, in the meantime, is finished on the Lone Druid Spirit Bear, with a BKB on Lance as well. So in the next team fight, they're gonna be just way better off than in the last one, I think. The AC just helps them tack up so damn much up against Ember Spirit's physical damage, who actually has a Crystallis now.
Yeah, this Ember Spirit is packing the Crystallis. He pretty much has gold for Daedalus, a little bit short, I believe, but still, he's absolutely loaded. And Arrow, well, they see their timing right now. The timing is pick up the Assault Cuirass to let the pushing go a little bit easier, and then just go for it. Star is going to lay a little bit of fire off to the front lines. The Battle Fury is going to start to cut through this creep wave, although not really do quite enough. Now the Bear is going to be on the hunt for fixers, although the Bear has to be careful. Though he does have a lot of armor, the Bear is capable of being bursted down magically. They will take down the tower, and fixers can't afford to be entangled here. Gotta go, man. There it is. So the tower does fall. Arrow finally get the tower that they really wanted. And it's going to give the Enigma a Blink Dagger now. It's going to help them a little bit in securing these black holes, but I think for now, Kingdom, they have to sack the rest of their tier 2 towers. They aren't quite ready to fight yet. The Ember Spirit niche needs a little bit more gold, and then ideally saving for buyback as well. If the Ember Spirit dies without buyback, then I think it might just be game for Arrow, but assuming they have a couple heroes up, and Lone Druid on banking is going to be up, and he could take down towers like no other.
Yeah, and actually I think he's going all out. Yeah, he just purchased the Daedalus sub completely, so he doesn't have buyback or will not have buyback if he dies. But smashing on the Mirana, he went for a Dagon level 1. What do you make of that item?
I guess it's whoever gets hit with the Ancient Seal, you want to hit with the Dagon as well. It's okay as a combination, but this late it's going to be doing next to nothing. Usually it's going to be Blink Dagger or Force Staff or something. Star's going to get entangled. Oh, he's going to be just fine though. Force Staffed around. Now the Spirit Bear double ensnared up. Arrow to the face is going to drop. And now I don't know if Arrow actually want to fight this. So the bear is going to be instantly resummoned. They're going to keep going. If they take out the bear again, then Arrow are completely hopeless in these fights. They will very quickly take down the tower though. Demolish with that extra 40% building damage is not to be underestimated. And Kingdom, they are going to sack all their tier 2 towers. But yeah, this Mirana Dagon is, I don't know. I guess maybe you could burst down like an Enigma or something. It seems pretty ambitious to me.
Oh, Star is on the hunt. DDC is steeping out. The Star actually hesitated a little bit. And I think one of the biggest reasons why Kingdom actually didn't take a fight properly under the tier 2 is that Tombbringer. He actually was lacking mana for his ultimate. He was sitting about 170 mana, so he couldn't have used all of his spells at all. Magic One's charges were also at 0. A little bit unfortunate of his timing. I'm not too sure if he didn't have just time to go back to base or what was the reason for it. As actually Spirit Bear might be in some trouble. Star trying to chase it down, trying to harass it a little bit, but it's gonna be fine now. Gem picked up an Enigma as well, so Blink, Gem, they will start just getting all the map control. I mean, all the outer towers are down already, so if you can make sure Kingdom actually doesn't have any vision either, just split pushing and doing whatever you want is that much easier.
Yeah, the towers down is definitely going to help the Nature's Prophet a lot. He is actually doing a pretty good amount of damage. He's farmed up. He's 3rd place in the net worth, behind the Lone Druid as well as behind the Ember Spirit. And if he gets to be in the back of the fight, is going to be able to kill off pretty much whoever he gets his hands on, and especially if he gets the Orchid on the Ember Spirit, that'll be huge. But he has to just make sure that he's in the back of these fights and just split pushing all the while. Kingdom haven't really been too friendly to this Nature's Prophet. The Bat Rider has reserved lots of lassos for him, and I think that might come to be in just a little bit again if Xiangzai moves up to this top lane, which, if you look at the current map state, is something that Nature's Prophet could very well do, and Kingdom, they know about it. They're trying to bait this Nature's Prophet in, but I don't think Xiangzai is going to take that bait. He is going to instead wait for his Mjolnir to be completed. So, yeah, this Nature's Prophet is going, much like the Ember Spirit, to be a glass cannon, but he doesn't have the mobility that the Ember Spirit has. So Nature's Prophet, he has to hide behind the Lone Druid, or else if they lose the Lone Druid as well as the Nature's Prophet for Arrow, then it's all over.
Yeah, I mean, this Lone Druid is actually so hard to bring down, especially if the Spirit Bear is close enough for the AC bonus armor buff, who actually now has a Basher as well. So Spirit Bear, he hurts a lot. Plus, Entangling Claws together with the Basher. Oh man, it's gonna be devastating if actually any hero is next to the Spirit Bear and doesn't have an escape method, something like a Force Staff or something, but we'll see. And he's split pushing as well, making it so that Xiangzai actually doesn't have to sacrifice his own life, or at least potentially risk his own life there. And they are grouped up as 5. Do you think we're gonna see the high ground now?
It's awfully bold. I think Arrow would probably feel safer in going for Roshan, but unfortunately, if they had a Vlad's or any sort of lifesteal, then Lone Druid could do it by himself. Unfortunately, they don't. So, going for Roshan is probably going to be the safest thing for them to do, although going straight for Fixers also isn't a terrible idea. Forcing out a buyback from the Ember is a huge victory. Just straight pushing the high ground, though, I think is a little bit too unnecessarily risky. Like, yes, they probably can get away with it if the fight goes well for them, if all the pieces line up, but there's no reason to really take that fight, because right now, though they don't know it, Kingdom, they're just all sitting on the top lane, like AFK, trying to abandon the game by not getting experience or something. And it's the whole bunch of minutes where Kingdom 3 heroes are doing literally nothing in this game except for waiting very patiently for a Nature's Prophet who is never going to come. So, Arrow, they can do it. I don't think they should.
By the way, Smashy, they go on level 2 on the Mirana. It's a first for me, really.
Please, no Smashy. How good would a Heaven's Halberd be right here?
It would be excellent in Heaven's Halberd, Force Staff maybe even just to get people out of Entangling Claws and whatnot, but I mean, Dagon, it's... Who is he gonna really blow up? I mean, I guess Shadow Demon? I don't know, that's...
Do you need to kill Shadow Demon though? It's like, yeah, you can shoot him with the Dagon, but what does it actually do? It doesn't do anything, because Shadow Demon doesn't really do much.
I really don't know, I just don't understand the item pickup. But Star, they want to go for the initiation. hesitant a little bit there, but I mean, if his Firefly ends, the initiation really isn't half as strong all of a sudden.
Although Eye of the Storm was used, not going to be terribly huge deal, and the bear right up to the front line is going to apply just a little bit of Radiance Burn. Now the chains, and they're going to try to kill this bear. If they kill him off, it could be a pretty big win, but here comes Enigma. He's not going to get anything off. He's in fact just going to bump into the bear, and he only cast a level 1 Malphus. That was rather uninspiring. I thought he was going to go for a 2-man black hole, but without BKB, there's... Does he have BKB? Can't click on him. No, he doesn't have BKB, so I don't really know what the plan was there for Enigma. Malphus is not a good skill right now. So, yeah, awkward engagement and awkward poking. The bear is really the most vulnerable and most viable target for Kingdom to go for right now.
Yeah, and man, DDZ is sending his Spirit Bear back as well into the fountain just to regen up before they try a push another time. They are counter-warding at the moment as well on the high ground. Actually, don't they have a gem for it? Yes, they do, but Sentries it is instead. So, looking at Fixers, sitting at 3.5k gold on that Ember Spirit. Is he just, well, he's definitely saving for buyback, I guess, but is he going for the next item as another Daedalus to just get more crit potential, get more damage output, or get the second Battle Fury for more cleave?
Either way, it's going to be really nice. I'm pretty sure no matter what item he goes for, he'll be able to clear the entire wave with one Sleight of Fist, so ultimately it doesn't really matter too much. I guess Daedalus is a better item in that regard because it'll just give him more damage overall, so it's also a higher ticket item. But I don't think he's going to be under too much pressure to go for Daedalus, or go for Battle Fury over Daedalus, so really doesn't really matter. I just don't think he's going to go for any survivability items. I'd be very surprised if he turned into a BKB or anything that gives him health at all.
Skadi.
It's not bad.
I mean, Skadi Ember Spirit to be honest is pretty damn sick since everybody just gets slowed down. Up against heroes like Razor, it's not all that bad since otherwise they're just so ridiculously fast, but I just think damage is the way to go at the moment, probably. But
yeah, well, he's going to get a lot of time to do it, so pretty much no matter what he wants to go for, he's going to have about 4,000 to do it, and now the Lone Druid Bear will dodge the chains. Now Victor's is going to get lassoed up. They're going to try to go for DDZ with the lasso. I don't know if that's the right idea. He's going to hit with an arrow, and then the magic damage burst is going to be enough. No bear in this fight. Kombaku's going to drop pretty low, but they're fine with trading the Doom in exchange for the Lone Druid as long as no one else dies. It looks like everyone else will survive, so Kingdom, they make the 1-for-1 trade, and I think they should be very happy with that. Killing off the Lone Druid pretty much stops Arrow's pushing in its tracks, and Fixers, crucially, is still alive, so I would say a nice win for Kingdom there.
Yeah, they also got the dominating streak of DDZ right there, and now suddenly BKB finished on the Batrider. Of course, the Entangling Claws and Bashes still go through as MTR. Oh, he might get Code Star. Will he continue with the sticky napalm? Yes, he will. Actually, doesn't connect on the second one, but Fixers, Searing Chains coming off cooldown. He doesn't connect on them either. MTR actually might escape, but just maybe Flame Break to push him back. Flame Guard as well. Defensive disruption, the Black Hole Mozon. They need the damage output. Fixers, he's gonna get silenced up as well. They're gonna get the kills here. While they turn around, it was Lancer stealing some damage from Star. BKB activated Firefly, he gets to the high ground. He's gonna be safe thanks to that, as the Dire Courier even got killed there. Mozon, can he get the stun Malphite? He doesn't have enough mana for it. Where's your soul ring, Mozon? Where's your soul ring?
Where's your anything, Mozin? Doesn't really matter though, because they finally got a black hole. That was actually a legitimate, honest-to-God black hole that wasn't interrupted less than a second into its casting time, and it caught two heroes. Kingdom, they were way too freaking greedy with that. Like, chasing after a Shadow Demon that deep, knowing that everyone is right behind the Shadow Demon is incredibly risky, and they got appropriately punished. They lost the Ember Spirit, which gave a lot of gold to this Nature's Prophet. There was like it was Nature's Prophet, yeah, 1,000 something gold to Nature's Prophet. Plus, they just get a huge win in the fact that now the Ember Spirit might have to even buy back, and the Aegis. Arrow, they finally get a black hole, and it turns out black hole is actually a pretty good skill.
Yeah, it is indeed if you can actually land it properly. Of course, now it's on cooldown on Kingdom, they don't have to be afraid of it anymore, but I mean, 1.4k, like you mentioned as well, into the Nature's Prophet's pockets all of a sudden. It's gonna be his Sheepstick straight out finished, and even probably has enough for buyback after that. Or if not completely, then close enough to a buyback, I guess. Aghanim Scepter also finished on Lance now on the Razor. That was a huge fight, plus having Aegis now. I mean, Kingdom, they just gave away so much with that one chase.
And there's no reason to go for a chase like that. Like, if you kill a Shadow Demon, if you don't kill a Shadow Demon, you're probably not going to feel the impacts of that, so they just got a little bit too comfortable with their positioning. Losing the Courier as well, I don't believe had anything. No, it didn't actually have anything, but that was just the cherry on top of the cake for Arrow. It's like, not only do we get the highest priority kill, but we also get the courier at insult to injury. And off of that, it's going to be a sheepstick straight purchase to the Nature's Prophet, as well as the BKB and Aghanims now completed for the Razor. No huge items on anyone else. There's a Vlad's on the Lone Druid, which is actually going to help out these pushes quite a bit, and a Blink Dagger for the Shadow Demon. The gold for Arrow is still flowing, and Kingdom, with the Dagon on Mirana and nothing else on anyone else, they're kind of stalling out right now. Shiva's Guard, as good as it is for Doom, is not going to win you any fights.
Yeah, it's... I'd have to say Arrow is looking so good. I mean, they have a 15,000 gold advantage as it is as well. XP only 2,500, but 40 minutes in, that's really not a huge lead by any means. And also Mozen, he's only 1,000 gold away from actually finishing his BKB. There are things on Kingdom side that can still stop the Black Hole then, for example Doom as well as the Lasso, but I think if he just stays far enough back, waits for the Lasso initiation on somebody else, there's a pretty high chance that he can just get an uninterrupted Black Hole once he has the PKB finished.
Well, they're going to go for bottom one more time. There's the last one to DDZ. BKB up on the Bear. Can they actually kill off this Lone Druid? No, the Bear tanks the arrow for him, although DDZ is going to get focused down. Lance at the front line did get doomed by Kompaku, who's going to try to be as aggressive as can. They make the same trade 1 for 1, and it looks like that should be it, although Fixer's going to get caught in the Black Hole. Everyone gets caught in the Black Hole. In fact, Enigma get a catch 4. Finally it came about, and that's going to be almost a clean sweep of Kingdom. Double buyback from everyone as now Fixer's back in this fight with Sleight of Fist. He'll kill off 1. Now looking for Xiangzai. He'll kill off 2 as well, but he doesn't have a buyback now. This is going to be a huge victory for Arrow. Enigma, it took him a little bit, but they finally get together. Now Kompaku on the run. Lance is not very healthy. He does have the Aegis, however. They're going to get the Sprout up onto the Doombringer. Are they going to give the Rampage to the Razor? It looks like they're going to try to. One more hit. No, he doesn't have enough. I don't think this is Rampage time anymore. Plaza Field. Come on, Rampage. He's not going to get it. Arrow with the greed, trying to give it to Lance. Oh man, they're going to take a huge victory regardless though. That might even be Rax's, and what a Black Hole from the Enigma. That's all it took.
Yeah, I mean, it was huge. Catching 4 heroes like that, oh my god, that just completely won them the fight, hands down. At TDC, I mean, he actually got dragged out of that Mystic Flare, but still they had enough damage to just bring him down. Ember Spirit getting a few right clicks, and now Shiva's card onto Mozen Doombringer. Is he gonna get the kill here? Damage is being stolen by Mozen. He's gonna lose his life. Double gem on the ground as well. There's the Mystic Flare. Lance gets his PKB to kill off their fruits, and now Yomu, he actually does survive, man. If they had just not gone for the greed and gone for the kill on Doombringer, he would have been down without the buyback. But no, they went for it, and Xiangzai even dies now to, I guess, smash his Dagon. So, man, just going for the greed. They're still looking pretty damn good, but they could have potentially even gotten second Rax if the Doombringer had just been dead for the same period of time that the Ember Spirit is at the moment.
30 seconds still for the Ember, and DDZ, he's going to feel comfortable doing 1v2. As long as he gets an Entangler or Bash, he'll be fine. There it is. Kompaku's now probably going to go down. The Demonic Purge actually chucking him down pretty hard. Now that the Spirit Bear up to the high ground is going to start wailing on this tower. And this Demolish, with the amount of damage this bear is putting out, is absolutely insane. Star, got to make sure that he doesn't get too close. If he gets Entangled or Bash or whatever, he's going to try to go for DDZ, but this is actually completely pointless since there's no follow-up to this. The bear is going to get hit with an arrow, and the tower focus as well. They might be able to kill off the bear. That's actually a pretty nice win for them, because DDZ doesn't actually have a resummon, so Arrow, they kind of catch a nice little win there, as Lance also going to get secured off by Fixers, who's now back into this game, and I think off of that, Arrows, they just have to book it. It was a little bit over-aggressive going for the Raxes, although losing the Bear and Razor, it's kind of hard to predict that happening, so either way, they get the Raxes, and that's really what Arrow wanted to get. Now with the Nature's Prophet, Enigma, and Lone Druid on the field, pushing in this entire game in general gets so much easier.
Yeah, I mean, Kingdom at the moment, do you think it's reaching a point where Fixers is like, screw these guys, I'm going Rapier?
Probably. I would say so. I mean, if he gets caught, he's going to die anyway, so you might as well just go all in and try to kill as many people as you can before you die, or at the very least, try to kill them before you die. He also is sitting at enough gold to get the Relic, and nothing else is going to help him right now. If he gets a Daedalus, it's just going to pale in comparison to a Rapier, so I think it is just that time to go for the Hail Mary.
Well, Hail Mary Smashy, he's going for it as well. Dagon is up to level 4 on the Mirana. Brown Boots, Dagon 5 man, best strategy alive. Actually, BKB picked up on Ember Spirit. I'm not too sure how much it's gonna do considering the amount of physical damage Arrow has. Yes, you're not gonna get Orchided, I guess, which actually cost him his first life in the last fight. But there's still gonna be Black Hole with a BKB now. The Entangling Claws, the Bash is coming out. I'm not too sure if the BKB was just the correct decision. Just maybe a little bit too defensive considering their situation in this game.
BKB against Arrow is just not a good item at all. It's for anyone really. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're, yeah, it's just not a good item versus what Arrow has right now. And Smashy going for the Dagon builds. I guess it did get a kill on the Nature's Prophet, and if he had any other item, then it probably wouldn't have happened. But still, Heaven's Halberd versus the Bear, guys, or Yule Scepter, or anything to deal with this Bear at all, would have been just such a better item, because Dagon is going to do a little bit of damage to the Bear. 700 is not bad, I guess, but definitely not enough. It's not the best way to deal with the Spirit Bear, who is still pretty high in the list of priorities for Kingdom. I would say still on the top, in fact. They're going to smoke up and look to make a defense now. Mosin is in a fairly vulnerable position, first star if he does take to the skies. But it looks like Kingdom, they're just going to, well, just fire off a couple arrows and see what they could find. If they went right now, though, they would catch Mosin and kill him almost instantly.
Well, I mean, I guess the BKB will make it so that you can't actually get hexed either, but I'm just not too sure if he's gonna have to dish so much damage. He's gonna have to get a few lucky crits as well. And Arrow, they are a little bit hesitant to come in just because the lasso combination. I mean, DDC, he's pretty damn tanky, but in the last fight, he got blown up even without actually being in the Mystic Flare itself, so they do have to be a little bit wary, but they can easily just wait it out since bottom lane is constantly pushing in, especially since Xiangxai just boosting out the lane even more.
Yeah, it's going to be up to Kingdom to start something. Arrow, they are in no rush at all. The arrows are still going to fly, but bottom lane is being pushed now. Fixtures is going to get hexed up. Kapaku going to jump in for a level death on Xiangxai. Doesn't get the doom out just yet. In fact, he's not going to be able to, I don't think. He's going to drop very quickly. He's going to go down. Where's the Ember Spirit? He's very, very low already. Fixtures has to bail. That's 2 down for Arrow. And they bust up the high ground. They take that fight so very easily. They didn't even break a sweat, really. That's going to be 2 sets of Raxes down. Now, Fixtures the BKB. That's going to do less than nothing right now because they already lost 2 Raxes. They're going to lose the 3rd. And that's got to be game. Kingdom, they don't have the Divine Rapier, and now they don't have a chance in hell in coming back in this game.
Yeah, they definitely took that fight wronger. They should have gone for the initiation a little bit earlier, and especially Yomo blinking in like that, going for the level dip instead of the Doom on anybody, and well, Smashy, he got Black Hole now just in case by Mosin. Didn't even get the kill in the end, but just well played by Arrow all in all. Some great patience and Kingdom. I don't know, they were behind, so I understand that they couldn't go too aggressive, but maybe they should have just not huddled as 5 in their own base, because somebody needed to just farm to actually be able to stand up to Arrow later on.
Kingdom had a good run. They had a couple of moments where they looked like they were in firm control of the game, but Arrow just played it so safe and so patiently that ultimately they made it happen. But this is a best of 2 series, guys, so there's another game coming up right after this.
Yeah, that's exactly where we're heading now as well. So guys, thanks so much for tuning in, supporting us as well as the Join Dota League. And we'll see you in game 2, so it's going to come up in only a couple of minutes time, so don't go anywhere.